stop. It's about to get worse. Okay. So to me, Thanksgiving has always seemed like a forgotten holiday. It's sandwiched between Halloween and Christmas, two of America's most beloved holidays. Personally, I love to nap and eat, so naturally Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday of the year. To ignite some enthusiasm and excitement around the Thanksgiving holiday, I would like to present some dish and food ideas to help you with your menu preparation. To start, imagine walking into a dining room and there's an entire Thanksgiving spread on the table. If you were to take each food item and put them into 5 different buckets, what would that comprise? You can speak out loud.
Proteins.
Protein, there we go.
Carbs.
Carbs. More specifically, carbs, anyone?
Dressings.
Dessert.
Dessert is another one. Casserole.
Stuffing,
okay. I'm thinking more high level. Like everything can be grouped into a bucket or classification. Steve?
Vegetables.
Vegetables, okay, we'll say sides. What do we start with?
Appetizers.
Okay, appetizers, and then carbs, we'll say bread. Okay. This worked well with everyone else. You guys are a little bit slow. We have bread, soups and salads, a variety of sides, protein, and last but certainly not least, our dessert. If you're a beginner at baking, which I actually don't know what everyone's baking or kitchen level is, but a good way to start with a bread is a soda bread. The rising agent is baking soda rather than yeast or sourdough. In the bottom left corner is a cheddar onion soda bread. It's very easy because you put everything together, shape the dough, bake it. Never takes longer than an hour and a half. Another option is a buttermilk biscuit. How many of you guys like buttermilk biscuits? Oh yeah, with a good jam or jelly, classic. You can use buttermilk. If you don't want to buy a whole half gallon of buttermilk, you can actually use whole milk and vinegar, combine them in a certain ratio, and it makes buttermilk. It's much easier than being stuck with figuring out how to use the rest of buttermilk. A yeast bread, I know Walt brought up that pizza dough is made of yeast. These usually take a little bit longer because you have to let the dough rise, but it's worth the wait. I would say this is more like a 3 to 6 hour process. Pictured as Japanese milk bread, it is so sweet, it is so soft, it is actually perfect. Again, with jams and jellies you can pair, and your guests are probably sure to love it. If you're an expert in the kitchen and you know how to deal with sourdough, I made these cardamom knots a couple months ago. It took a day and a half, an overnight proof, and multiple rounds of proofing, but I'm telling you, it got a 10 out of 10 in the kitchen. It was superb. If you have a sourdough starter and you can work with those types of doughs and you're a little more expert level, I would highly recommend doing a sourdough bread. Less exciting, we have soups and salads. The salad pictured here is a cranberry, almond, and kale salad. The great thing about salads is you really just put all the ingredients together, toss it, and then you're kind of good to go. I personally don't like nuts and berries or any fruit in my salad year round, but there's something fall festive about putting them in a salad for Thanksgiving that feels right. The soups pictured are butternut squash and spicy pumpkin coconut soup. Soups are more involved usually because you have to let them simmer, let the spices and flavors soak in. And typically you also need an immersion blender or a blender so it can get a little bit messy, a little more time consuming. If you live somewhere further north where it's cold, soups feel good. I think the forecast is 70, so maybe you're good to stick with a salad. More refreshing. I grouped my sides into 3 different categories, something starchy or carby like Steve was talking about, more of your greens, and then your colorful others or vegetables. For a starchy side, mashed potatoes are a classic. I know Liz brought up casseroles. I also love casseroles. A corn casserole is a good option here. Sweet potato casserole and candied yams are also great if you want to add something sweet to the mix. For greens, I personally love collard greens and Brussels sprouts. They're just kind of classic greens, but charred broccoli works here. Asparagus if you like it, and then, what was the last one? Green beans or green bean casserole. There you go. And then for color veggies, this is honey glazed carrots. So again, if you want to add a pop of sweetness, that's an option. Something more untraditional is roasted stuffed peppers. Bell peppers have those vibrant colors that are nice. And then you can put some more protein in it as well. Protein, like Ward said, turkey is the most obvious option. To me, it's not the favorite option because white meat just doesn't taste that great. There's other options, ham or Cornish hen. I don't know if you guys have tried Cornish hen. It's actually a hybrid chicken. There's 2 chicken species that they put together. They're never more than 2 to 4 pounds, so if you have a smaller guest count, this is a really great option. And then my personal favorite, dessert. I like to keep desserts traditional as well. You have your classic pumpkin pie, so if you get a pre-made crust, this can be very easy. Pecan pie is great this time of year, and if you want an added challenge, pumpkin cheesecake. I made this 3 or 4 years ago, instant hit, all gone. It was delicious. Other options, apple pie. It's just fall time and apples are great. Or sweet potato pie, which is similar to pumpkin pie, but I know there's a big controversy about that. I hope I was able to help you start thinking or continue thinking about your Thanksgiving meal prep. Thanksgiving is typically a time of relaxation and reflection, so I hope that with the menu prepared, you will be able to enjoy time with your loved ones.